In this video, I want to talk about 4 modifiers that will give you optimal lighting for under $100. So I'm not talking about cheap stuff that's cheap and looks cheap. I'm talking about high quality stuff that is also affordable. And the first one is this. And this is Roscoe Scrim, and it comes in a roll. All you need when you have this is a light source behind it, and it creates the most beautiful light you've ever seen. I often use it with a hazy behind it, a bare board behind it. If you're doing still life or product, you can create beautiful gradations across glasses and bottles. If you're doing portrait work, you can really customize that light, because a softbox has a fixed light here and a fixed baffle there. Nothing's changing. But with this here, you can move that light both backwards and forwards, up and down, left and right, behind the baffle to really tailor the lighting you want. This stuff here is some seriously pro-grade modification, and I'd highly recommend buying it. Okay, next up we have some more Roscoe stuff, and this is Light Control Aluminium Wrap, and it sort of comes in one of these. It's like tin foil, but it's black. Now, this is great for a number of reasons. Now, I've got scraps of this everywhere, but this here you can sort of mold, you can shape. Sometimes you need a bigger sort of lens hood. So you can make a lens hood out of this. Sometimes you need to reduce the light, and you might not want the hot spot in the center. So you'll pop this in the center of the light. How's that looking? Pretty good. Sometimes you need to flag off a bit of the light, and you might just pop it here. There we go, look at that. All this control, we can make it darker, we can make it brighter in some bits. Doesn't work so well with the camera there, but this stuff here is very good. It's reusable. It is also heat resistant. When you've got your modeling lamps on, it doesn't burn out. I will often have a very tightly gridded reflector and this covering half of it, so we only get like a very small shaft of light just to glance across a bit of food or something. But this stuff here is worth its weight in gold for both stills and video work. Now, this is one of the few times I recommend buying a second-hand modifier. Don't buy second-hand softboxes because the sort of white baffle loses its color and it goes a bit weird. A good quality reflector is really worth buying. Look how much light this can project out of it, and this is just catching a bit of bounce. These here, brand new, are quite pricey, but second-hand you can get a bronze color, I think it's the P70 for like 80, 90 pounds. I would buy the best reflectors you can afford second-hand. Don't buy cheap brand new ones. Buy them second-hand, or if you've got the cash, buy them brand new. But for the purpose of the budget of this video, these here are so good, so useful. They come out in almost every shoot. Most of my portfolio is shot with them. I'd highly recommend getting some of this. So the fourth and final one is a finger, which is a weird one, or a dot, or a dabber. But it's these things here, which is like a bit of a, kind of like a grid, but it isn't, because it's too thin to actually have a grid effect. Let's see if I can make it have any effect here. It will sort of very gently tone down the light. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on this video. But sometimes when you're photographing a product, you'll get a hot spot somewhere. Or if you're photographing a big scene and there's like a dollop of yogurt in the middle of it and that's white and everything else is really dark, that'll blow out. So you use this just to take some of that light away from the image. Our light is so soft and minimal here, it's not really doing a great deal. But these here, when you're banging out that hard light and big powers, these are incredibly useful. I'll pop a link to everything I've mentioned here. Probably won't be affiliate links, because I don't think any of this is on Amazon, but I'll give you a heads up, it might be if it's an Amazon link. But there we go. These are all modifiers that I use all the time. You don't have to spend £2,000 on a great bronze color parabolic light. Sometimes it's the simplest things that can get you the best results. And I'm a big fan of modifying modifiers. So simply having a softbox off the peg isn't really going to give you anything interesting. But once you start getting the cinefoil, the additional scrims, the dabbers and fingers and bits going in, you can really sculpt that light to give you the look you want. And I think a lot of photography is about sculpting the light and trying to create something different, maybe even something which doesn't exist in reality. Just trying to really put your stamp on your work to give it that look which only you can create. I hope this has been of use to you. If you have any questions about anything else kit related, let me know in the comments below. I'll try and put a video for it. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.